In tonight's headlines, Greater Bay Airlines apologizes for causing travel disruptions after canceling 128 flights affecting 5,500 travelers. National Security Police summons siblings of fugitive Chung Kim-wah to assist in an investigation. And the Ombudsman urges the Housing Authority and the Housing Society to do more to tackle the abuse of public housing flats.
The government expressed serious concern regarding the cancellation of 128 flights by Greater Bay Airlines over the next 2 months, which will impact around 5,500 passengers. The cancellations, primarily en routes to Japan, South Korea, and Thailand, were attributed to delays in new aircraft deliveries and mandatory safety inspections of existing planes. Additionally, the city's smallest carrier also applied to suspend its Seoul route, citing unsatisfactory business performance. In response, Secretary for Transport and Logistics Mabel Chan said she has reached out to the airline's management to demand accountability and has requested a detailed report on the matter within a week. She emphasized the need of prioritizing passenger rights and minimizing disruptions. Greater Bay Airlines has apologized for the inconvenience caused and committed to waiving all related fees while increasing staffing at its customer service center. Affected passengers can also change their tickets and request refunds via email or hotline, according to the company. Meanwhile, the Consumer Council said it received 2 complaints about flight delays or changes, totaling almost $8,000 as of 5 p.m., and has contacted the budget airline to follow up. The consumer watchdog also urged affected passengers to retain their hotel booking and payment records for claims in the future. Kun Ting-yang, Cable News. National Security Police have summoned the siblings of fugitive former pollster Chung Kim-wah to assist with an investigation. Sources said one of Chung's younger brothers were taken to Chungwon Police Station, while his sister and youngest brother were directed to the Central Police District Headquarters and the Castle Peak Division Station, respectively. They were all released around noon. This follows the questioning of Chun's wife and son by national police officers last Tuesday, who were also released on the same day. Chun's former colleague, Robert Chun, president and chief executive officer of Hong Kong Public Opinion Research Institute, was also detained for questioning last Monday regarding allegations of providing assistance to Chun. Chung Kim-wah, who moved to the United Kingdom in 2022, was put on the police wanted list last month for alleged national security offenses. He's suspected of inciting secession on social media and colluding with foreign forces, and the police are offering a $1 million reward for information leading to his arrest.
In a bid to further combat public housing abuse, the Ombudsman initiated an investigation into the work of the Housing Authority and the Housing Department, revealing that only 500 out of 12,000 tenancy abuse cases were prosecuted, which accounts for just 4.2%. Ombudsman Jack Chen pointing out that many cases, despite having enough evidence, often went cold due to the 2-year statute of limitations.
We recommend that the Housing Authority to comprehensively review how to identify and collect sufficient evidence for prosecution within the time limit, thereby raising the prosecution rate.
The government watchdog also found the penalties too lenient, as some serious cases of abuse are just resolved by reclaiming the units. One case involved a tenant who was reported for subletting the unit. Investigations revealed that the tenant spent over 1,200 days abroad in 5 years, continuously renting out the unit. The Housing Authority ultimately issued a notice to quit in August 2023, taking 5 months to reclaim the unit. The Ombudsman said if the Estate Management Office had checked the tenant's travel records in November 2021, they would have realized the tenant was no longer residing in Hong Kong, allowing for earlier reclamation of the public house. Acknowledging the report, the The Housing Department said they are actively exploring amendments to the housing ordinance to criminalize the act of serious tenancy abuse, targeting to have the bills passed by mid-2025. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
A man died and another was injured after they were slashed in a knife attack in Yunlong early this morning. Police received a report shortly after 5:30 a.m. that the two men were assaulted by 7 to 8 attackers near a factory building on Wang Yip Street West. The assailants then fled the scene in 4 private cars in the direction of Hai Yip Street, a police spokesman said. The first victim, 24, sustained multiple wounds and fell unconscious and was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead at 6:38 a.m. Another man, 28, who reported the incident to police, suffered back injuries and was taken to Tuen Mun Hospital. The case has been listed as murder and wounding.
Kai Tak Sports Park will go through its largest stress test so far this Friday, with the main stadium, the arena, and the youth sports ground holding test events simultaneously. Around 63,000 spectators, the maximum capacity for all 3 venues together, are expected to flock to the venues, with 80% being Silver Sevens. The test will be divided into 3 phases. First, spectators will enter the venue and undergo security checks from about 6 p.m. before attending a concert. The second test will simulate evacuations under emergency situations. The last drill will see all 3 venues being tested together to simulate a real-time access scenario, with around 60,000 people leaving the park at 9:30 p.m.
同時舉行嘅日子咧係返工嘅日子嚟嘅。
Assistant Transport Commissioner Chow Bin-Kei noted that the test is conducted on a working day and the entry time is overlapping with the rush hours. This gives us a good chance to access the public transport systems connecting to Kai Tak Sports Park and the overall operational capacity, he said. He urged participants not to drive to the venue. With a large number of civil servants participating, Deputy Police Commissioner Chow Yat-Ming expressed hope that the civil servants may arrive earlier to ensure a smooth entry while not affecting public services. Meanwhile, the KTSP's Interdepartmental Task Force will introduce the Red Team concept, identifying risks and enhancing departmental response capabilities. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
The government has warned that employers are prohibited from terminating the contract of foreign domestic helpers during their paid sick leave. The warning follows a complaint from Filipino domestic worker Noeline Patricio Arzaga, who was dismissed after being diagnosed with breast cancer. The 39-year-old claimed she was cruelly fired and evicted from her employer's flat at night. Upon revealing her chemotherapy treatment last year, Arzaga noted that she was not required to undergo a health check before signing a contract that is valid until this August. Following her layoff, her chemotherapy costs skyrocketed from $80 per session at a public hospital to $6,000, as she was no longer classified as a domestic helper in the city. Arzaga subsequently reported the incident to both the Labor Department and the Equal Opportunities Commission to seek help. The equality watchdog highlighted that dismissing an employee due to a disability may breach the Disability Discrimination Ordinance, noting 31 complaints from foreign domestic helpers between 2022 and 2024. Meanwhile, the Labor Department acknowledged receiving 22 similar reports over the past 3 years, but admitted that no employers have faced prosecution for breaching the employment ordinance during this period. A small settlement has been arranged for Arzaga through the conciliation process with her former employers. Quentin Ya, Cable News.
After signing a slew of executive orders immediately after he was sworn in, US President Donald Trump got down to more serious business on his first full day in office.
We're talking about a tariff of 10% on China based on the fact that they're sending fentanyl to Mexico and Canada. For Mexico and China, we're talking about approximately 25%.
Keeping up with his election campaign promise, Trump told reporters in the White House he's considering imposing a 10% tariff on imports of goods made in China starting as early as next month. Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Mao Ning said there are no winners in a trade war, adding that China would safeguard its national interest. Trump also threatened America's neighbors Mexico and Canada with 25% tariffs for allowing undocumented migrants and drugs to enter the U.S. Trump has ordered a review to investigate the causes of America's trade deficits with other nations, to identify unfair trade practices, and to review existing trade agreements for potential improvements. The findings of the review will be revealed by the end of the first quarter. Trump's America First policy is aimed at giving U.S. businesses a more level playing field on the international arena. Sachin Kadvi, Cable News. Emergency workers continued to search for bodies at a ski resort in the northwestern Turkish city of Bolu, where 76 people died after a fire broke out at the 12-story Grand Cartel Hotel. Another 51 people were injured as firefighters tackled the blaze for 12 hours. Some people reportedly died after jumping out of the windows. Located roughly 200 kilometers north of the capital Ankara, the resort had 238 registered guests, mostly families who were enjoying a 2-week winter break from schools. The cause of the fire is not yet known, but initial reports suggest that the blaze broke out in the restaurant section of the hotel's 4th floor and quickly spread to the upper levels. 9 people, including the owner of the resort, have been arrested. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan declared 1 day of national mourning, ordering flags to be lowered at half-staff.